Good day, Merry Meet. My name is Glennis and I am the Witch of Whitetail Hollow. I want to warmly welcome you to my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me, and if you haven't subscribed yet, well, please do. I wish that I could say I have a set schedule that I upload videos, but the reality is I do so as the spirit moves me. So if you will hit that notification bell, then you will absolutely know, hopefully, when I upload. But this video today is in response to a package I sent out, and I wanted to give the person receiving the package a little bit of a brief explanation as to what I sent, why I sent it, and I'll explain as much as I can. Some of it I can't explain because, as you guys know, when someone contacts me and I start thinking about them, and even before I know too many details, I come back here and I start touching, and, and it just simply happens. Reading kind of simply happens. So a part of what I'm going to be doing today is an explanation for what they are receiving, a little bit of a reading, and hopefully some of this may help someone else here because they may be in the same type maybe of a situation. And I won't give out too many details because, well, but what I sent was actually several different things. Again, when I start reading and I'm connecting with the person, probably more than what they realize I'm connecting with them. But that's one of the dangers. That's one of the dangers when you contact me and I know your name and things like that. So just be forewarned. But I start making that connection, and what I've sent is more than what you asked for, but I feel is what you need to do to get yourself where you want to be or need to be. Okay. I have sent the first thing that you should do. I've sent a cleansing. This is absolutely charged. This is from what I use myself virtually every week, sometimes more than once a week, but absolutely a minimum once a week. So I've sent this, and really all you have to do, now I did not tie it off, so you should be able to open it up easily if you want to, but there are definitely herbs in this, so I don't want you to clog your tub up or anything like that. But if you have a concern, that just get yourself a large bowl, pour some hot water in it, let it dissolve, and use the rinse like that. That's perfectly acceptable. If you have any left over, pour it in a bottle, which may sound disgusting, but pour it in a bottle, save it, and use it for maybe after everything you've done, and do another cleanse. After you do the cleanse, I have sent my Fiery Wall of Protection spell kit. The positive and the negative are, of course, wrapped separately, and I will provide a link below as to how I do a Fiery Wall of Protection. You may want to do it differently. You may, of course, use your own words because your intentions, and you probably have maybe not much, but maybe a little bit more knowledge about what you're facing. But I think I have a pretty good grasp. But absolutely do the cleanse, the Fiery Wall of Protection, and then go forth with your return to sender or return negative energy back. I did, of course, send that oil. But what I want you to do, and this is going to sound kind of unusual, but like I told you, I have a little bit of a plan. And this is very devious and sneaky, but that's just how I roll. In the fiery wall of protection, not the protection salt herb blend, but the herb blend itself, use only half of that in your fiery wall of protection. Save the other half to use with your return to sender oil. You already, now I sent the candles with a fiery wall of protection kit because they have been in my possession and they've been charging, and which is why I send my bath salts and I absolutely charge everything out before I send it. But the other half of the herb blend, when you want to do the return negative energy sent back to these people, the herb blend that you have, use that along with your return to sender oil. And I must warn you, the oil, this is from my master oil here. I personally, I don't have any problem using it on my hands, on candles. Your skin may be sensitive to it, so if you want to wear gloves, or if you want to use a cotton swab or something like that, then by all means. But of course, when I use mine and I'm sitting here in ritual and my hands really take a good beating, but I very often will have a cloth that I will, at a minimum, not necessarily wash my hands, but at a minimum wipe it off of my hands. So just be forewarned, it looks like nasty evil oil, and it is. Anoint your candle with the oil, and you have half of that herb blend. Pour the herb blend in a small container or tray or whatever. Put your candle there, and in your package, that's right here. In your package, you have 2 stems. Place those crossways, like so. Put your candle here, your herb blend all around, and let every intention that you have, let every negative thoughts that has been spewed into the universe about this whole situation, just, you know how to work it. Allow the candle to burn down, and you have your 2 sticks here. If you have a cauldron, or if you need to go outside or whatever, burn these 2 sticks, because I have the 3rd from these. Okay, once you burn these 2 sticks, or then please send me an email and let me know, and I'll use a football analogy. I'll catch the ball and I'll run with it. Okay, that's what we need to do with the return to sender. And if you don't want to do that, I totally understand, but some of you guys know I practice all kind of spell crafting, and so I'm not a bit squeamish about returning negative energy, because again, they let's just put it that they drew first blood, and we're just going to finish it up. Now, as far as the crystal, there's a crystal there, and again, I've been working with it, I've been charging with it, and I can't explain why. I wish I could explain why to you, but I feel if you want to work with it yourself, then go right ahead, but it's absolutely ready for you to take that crystal and to put under your driver's seat in your vehicle. I wish I could explain to you why, and I don't want to be an alarmist. I don't want to be an alarmist, but this is what came to me, and I'm only relaying what I have. And I absolutely would do a cleansing bath after the fiery wall of protection, because you want to protect yourself first. You want to cleanse yourself, protect yourself, and then start a return to sender, because all of those nasty, evil feelings that happened and are bubbling up and still inside of you. And I absolutely understand. You absolutely want to do that, because when your energy is so high, you don't know what you're going to bring in. So, and as far as the retribution spell is concerned, I will absolutely, of course, be happy to participate with that with you. Absolutely, of course, because from my how I was taught, it needs to be more than one person to absolutely build that energy and to make that person feel, realize what went down. But I also have to say, I mean, I'll be happy to do it with you, but I also have to say, I honestly would not expect anything from it, because this person is never, and I hate to say it, but this person is never going to feel bad for anything they do, because absolutely nothing is their fault. And, as odd as that sounds, there's a lot of people like that. And it's only becoming, now, not just in this particular person, but in our society in general. As long as we are not being held accountable for little things we did, much less very large things we did, then the situation is, as far as our society is concerned, is only going to get worse. And no one is being held responsible for anything. They may go home and feel really awful about it, but they're not gonna be held legally or morally anymore responsible for it. And the reason being, not because of society in general, but this particular person has a personality disorder, and there have been a couple of things that have happened, and that you know about, of course, that shows you and me that this person is never, ever, ever going to be sorry. She's going to go on to the next person that she can either intimidate or bully or whatever the word is, or both. And I think, I honestly feel this is one of the reasons why she has this other person with her. Because at some point in time, something happened, and instead of this other person, it may not be as serious as what's happened with you guys, but I think she kind of treaded a little bit, and the person folded, and that's when she said, "Oh, okay, I have, I have me a little monkey." And so basically, anyone with this personality disorder, now I want to say very, very clearly, I am not a psychiatrist, a psychologist, or a mental health professional at all, but there's a lot of us that have met people with personality disorders and have had to deal with people with personality disorders, which is why I say a retribution spell, no matter how many witches and experienced spellcasters you gather together, are not going to penetrate this person's mind. Do you know why? Because their mind does not respond and react like other people's. And again, I'm not going to analyze what has happened to her in her life and her lifetime to make her the way she is, but she's going to surround herself with yes people. And again, that's all part of, it's never my fault, you know, and we all like to think we're perfect. But the reality is at the end of the day, you go home and you go, you know, whether you're at work or out with friends or whatever, and you go, yeah, I kind of screwed up saying this or doing this or that. They do not do this. And they are not ever going to do this. They immediately went into destruction mode, and they are going to fire as much as they can, as hard as they can. So don't let that put you in a state of dismay, or because that's her MO. That's just how it is. The best thing that you can do, and you know, I don't want to come across as a, you know, she's giving me old motherly advice, but I've been there, done that. I've been here and done that. The best thing you can do is to, if you're on social media, which I am not, except for YouTube, I know better, is to block them, absolutely block them. And if anyone else in this circle, or whatever you want to call it, your social circle or whatever, comes to you and says anything about anything, you can just ignore that. You know, you might want to say, you know, well, who are you to listen to this particular person? Or you could say something like, well, your turn is going to be next, because she's going to do the same thing to you as she's done to me. Just saying. But they absolutely love to surround themselves with yes people or flying monkeys, because once they're blocked and once they can no longer penetrate your world, they'll find someone else that will. So it's up to you how you want to deal with the rest of the situation. But how I dealt with the situation when I was, you know, I mean, I tried this and I tried that and I tried the other. I did all kinds of things. The only thing that worked for me in the situation that I was in was now this has never seen the light of day, and it probably never will, is I absolutely did a hollow skull spell. That is my absolute last resort, because this is a very, very, very serious spell. I've done this really honestly only a handful or so times. And for me, like I said, this was an absolute last resort, and it worked. It absolutely worked. Why do I still have this? Why do I still have this if it worked? Because there's a certain level of responsibility in a hollow skull spell. It's binding, and you are in control. I could probably dispose of this. I mean, jar and all, everything. I bring this, but you know what? I'm just so, and I'll be honest, I'm just so evil. I bring it out every now and again, and I pierce it with the hottest metal poker I can. It works. Works for me. But again, you know, this isn't for everybody. And again, this was my last resort. So there you go. There you go. Just such a pleasant witch. But, you know, again, if you want me to participate in your return to sender, let me know when you burn those sticks. And this old witch will absolutely pick up the ball and carry it to another level. Not that you can't, but let me have at them too. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in my little bit of a rant today. I hope that maybe you've learned something. And please, absolutely, stay safe, stay happy and healthy. Merry part, and I absolutely so hope to merry meet again. Goodbye, guys.